Hi, this is Megan Kahn with Avid Artist Relations here in Austin, Texas for South by Southwest 2011. And I'm here with Joseph Kahn, director and co-writer of Detention, which is part of the competition.
No, it's just it's the world premiere at the South by Southwest Film Festival.
Perfect. And so how did you and your writing partner come up with the concept for Detention?
We were at a Coachella Music Festival about, actually, I guess 4 years now, and we were just talking about different movies that we like and what we thought we could do with the movie. And I knew I wanted to make something about high school to get that out of my system, and so did he. And we just started, beating out a story. And
so, tell us a little bit about the synopsis of the film.
It's about well, I think she'll probably be 18 now that we that we think about it. It's about a teenage girl in high school who's being chased by a serial killer. I know it's a very simple plot, but it goes into much more complex stuff after that. It's like a mishmash of a ton of different movies and genres. It's not even necessarily a horror comedy at the end of the day. It's a mixture of things.
Okay, so you guys were working on writing it over a number of years. Why now? Why did it finally come together now?
Well, I was actually on another movie called Neuromancer, which I was actually writing myself over 3 years, and that fell through. And also I do tons of music videos and commercials. So really, it was 3 years of writing, but it was an off and on process. Mm-hmm. And it was only, I'd say, like, we wrote a draft of it over a course of 3 years. But then I think over a course of 3 weeks, I finally said, let's just focus on this. Mm-hmm. And it was in 3 weeks that the actual film came together.
And so you mentioned your music video background. Having worked on a lot of high-profile pop culture music videos, did you find that influenced the way that you directed this film as well?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I don't consider music videos as another form of filmmaking. It's filmmaking. And I've been doing music videos for 21 years now. And the funny thing is, I think when people see this music video, when they see this film, they're going to go, oh, he's just another music video director doing a music video style. But but the reality is, I've been doing it for so long, it's not a music video style, it's my style. Right. It's not like I went into it trying to copy a music video. Like I've been making music videos forever. That what you're seeing that's up there, all that flash and whatever you want to call it, and camera movement and stuff. That's just the way I see things. So yeah, and I apply it to music videos, and I also apply it to commercials, and now I'm applying it to a movie. Your
music videos definitely do sort of play as short films. That makes sense to me. So in production, what were you guys shooting on? What was sort of the tech behind production?
We shot it on Red camera. I was there's a brief moment. The film came together very fast. We prepped it. After I wrote it, I think about 9 months ago, I was on a commercial on a train from Manchester, mm-hmm. and I turned to everybody and said, "You know what? We're gonna make this movie. We're gonna make this movie, and we're gonna make it starting on Monday." And it was Saturday, and I said, "And we're gonna shoot it starting in a month and a half, because that's when the schools start coming back." And it was I think it was July 1st. I said, "Let's start making this movie," and by August 13th, we were shooting. We had cast and shooting, and we didn't even have a budget or anything, or not a single crew member hired. But I knew that coming from music videos and commercials, I had a big crew accessible, mm-hmm. and I've been working with them for so many years that we could do this. Right. And I was telling my producer Uyghur, it's really like making 15 music videos in a row.
Just think of it that way.
And quite frankly, we've done that in 2 or 3 months before.
Yeah.
And that's what we did. We actually started shooting, and it took about originally we thought we were going to shoot for 31 days. A lot of it's my money, so. I thought, as I shot it, what? I'm only going to get one chance to do this. Mm-hmm. What else am I going to spend my money on? Yeah. And so we went to 51 days.
And so you worked with an editor, but then you also did some of the editing yourself. Can you tell me a little bit about how post-production worked?
Yeah, it's funny. I have a very specific style where I actually capture the footage off a video tap.
Okay.
And it goes directly into a laptop, an Avid laptop with a Mojo, and I edit every shot as it goes along. And I have an Avid editor on there, an on-set editor, but every shot, when I really want to see a take, I'll go in there and myself and just cut it together. So he'll be logging all the footage, mm-hmm. and putting in a sub-clips, and then we'll put different layers and stuff like that, and maybe there's 9 layers of video, and then I'll just click between different layers to see which mm-hmm. Which take I'm using, and it's literally the Avid is a integral part of the way I actually design shots as I'm making them.
And so were you guys on Media Composer 5, the new version, did you use AMA, or were you transcoding the red files?
Well, we would transcode them later,
okay.
But yeah, it was transcoded red files when we actually got to the actual editing, but on set it would be off video tap.
Okay, perfect.
And then we would match the video tap to with the red files later.
And how did you find working with Red? Have you worked with, is this the first time you've worked with Red, or?
No, I mean, I've been using Red cameras for years and years. In fact, we're probably one of the earliest users of Red camera. And, I would have never, it's funny, like I made a movie, I guess almost 9 years ago now, called Torque. And people seem to think that, like, I was in some sort of director jail or something. And the reality is, when I first made Torque, I actually was already in the business for, I'd say, like 11 years before that, doing music videos and commercials. And I actually didn't want to make a movie until they had digital intermediates at a certain level. I remember when I made it with Warner Brothers, it was like their first digital intermediate film.
Oh, wow.
And I told myself I would never want to make a movie unless I had control of the colors like that, And so I did that. And then I was like, okay, if I'm going to make another movie, I'm going to do it on my own terms. I'm going to wait for the technology to get better because I want to do it digitally. Yeah, so I purposefully waited for technology to get to a certain point, and so with the combination of the Red camera and offline nonlinear editing with the Avid, having access to all the files and instantaneous editing, and essentially putting everything on hard drives, that's when I felt like I could make this movie at a price.
Yeah.
And I waited, and here we are.
And so South by Southwest, it's your world premiere. It seems like a perfect place for you guys to be premiering this kind of film. Can you talk about when you guys first, made the decision that this was where it was going to premiere?
Well, when Mark Palermo, the co-writer, and I assembled the script together and designed it, we weren't intending to make an independent movie. We thought this is like a very commercial movie, and because quite frankly, my taste isn't independent on a certain level. I love big movies. I love like pop movies, and that's what we made. But I just realized that the way that I want to make pop movies is different. I don't want to make the same old thing. I want to make new things. And people right now, I don't know, they just don't want to try different things. So I ended up financing this myself, finding other investors. And when we were looking at different film festivals, it's not the final result is not the type of movie that you would normally see in a film festival. And when we finally got accepted here, we just realized this is the perfect place. Yeah. People are drunk. People are young. That's our audience, drunk young people.
Well, thank you so much for taking the time, Joseph. Congratulations on the premiere tonight, and stay tuned for more from South by Southwest 2011.
Yeah. Thank you.
Cool. Thanks.
Thanks, guys.